How much house can you actually afford in Kansas City? Which suburb is best if you're commuting to downtown or working remote? Should you live in Kansas or Missouri? And what surprises most people when they move here?
If you're moving to Kansas City from out of state, you probably have a lot of questions. And today we're answering all of them. From housing costs and taxes to lifestyle and location, this is everything you really need to know before relocating. We're Kat and Melanie with the 𝗠𝗢𝗡𝗧 Group Realtors, and we help people just like you make their move to Kansas City smoother, smarter, and way less stressful. Let's get started.
One of the biggest factors that influences where people choose to live in the Kansas City metro, especially those moving from out of state, is access to quality schools. The Kansas City metro is spread across dozens of school districts, and the quality, structure, and even calendar type can vary significantly. Here's a general breakdown of how schools impact location decisions. First up is Overland Park, Kansas. Overland Park is part of the highly sought-after Blue Valley and Shawnee Mission school districts. These areas are known for strong academic reputations and offer a wide range of extracurriculars, advanced placement options, and support services. Next, let's talk about Lee's Summit, Missouri. Lee's Summit has a large, well-regarded district with multiple high schools and a wide range of programs, from STEM to performing arts. Homes here are popular, with people looking for a mix of suburban life and strong education access. Next, let's talk about Liberty, Missouri and Blue Springs, Missouri. Both also attract buyers because of their consistent school performance, community feel, and newer school facilities in many areas. And finally, let's talk about Kansas City, Missouri. 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗏 offers a mix of traditional public schools, magnet programs, and charter schools. Some families moving into 𝗖𝗢𝗡 prioritize the flexibility to choose from specialized programs, especially for gifted students or unique learning styles. Keep in mind, where you live determines which district you're assigned to, and the same zip code can even cross district lines. It's one of the reasons we always recommend reaching out early so we can help you match your goals, whether that's a walkable neighborhood, a larger home, or access to a certain type of school program. Even if schools aren't your top priority, they can still affect resale value and future appreciation. We can show you how that plays out across different parts of the metro.
Now, one of the biggest surprises for people moving to Kansas City is how spread out the metro is, but also how manageable the drive times are. Most suburbs are 15 to 35 minutes from downtown, and traffic here is pretty light compared to most cities. Let's walk through the most common suburbs and what the commute to downtown looks like, plus which highways you'd likely use and where each area sits on the map. We'll be discussing how long your commute would be to downtown, but not everyone works downtown. There are many corporate hubs inside of each city, and you very well could be commuting less than 15 minutes to work or, of course, working from home. First up, located directly south of downtown on the Kansas side, Overland Park is one of the largest suburbs in the metro. You'll typically take I-35 north to get downtown, or US 69 north to I-635 or I-435, depending on where you live within the city. The commute time to downtown is about 20 to 30 minutes, and Overland Park is located just southwest of the Kansas City metro core. Next up are Lenexa and Shawnee. These are west of Overland Park and still on the Kansas side. Shawnee sits just off of Shawnee Mission Parkway and I-435, while Lenexa connects via K10 or I-435 east towards downtown. The commute time to downtown KC is about 15 to 25 minutes, and Lenexa and Shawnee are just southwest of the Kansas City metro. As for Lee's Summit, Missouri, it's a fast-growing suburb just southeast of Kansas City. Most commuters take US 50 west to I-435 or I-70, depending on their location and destination downtown. Some parts of Lee's Summit are a bit farther out, but out there you'll find newer homes and larger lots. The commute time is about 25 to 35 minutes, and Lee's Summit is just southeast of the Kansas City metro. Up next is Blue Springs, Missouri. Located due east of downtown, Blue Springs connects easily via I-70 west, making a straight shot into the city. This is a popular area for people looking for affordable homes with quick highway access. The commute time downtown is about 25 to 30 minutes, and Blue Springs is right on the eastern edge of the Kansas City Metro. Now, Liberty, Missouri. Northeast of the Kansas City Metro, Liberty is accessible by I-35 South and Highway 152. It's one of the most established suburbs on the Missouri side, with easy access to downtown, the airport, and even St. Joe if you travel north often. The commute time downtown is about 20 to 25 minutes, and Liberty is in the northeast section of the Kansas City Metro. Last up, North Kansas City and Gladstone. These areas are directly north of downtown, which is super convenient for commuting. You'd take US 169 South, I-29, or I-35, all of which funnel quickly into the city center. Your commute time is just 10 to 20 minutes, and this area is just north of the Missouri River. The key thing to know here is that Kansas City is a driving city. There's limited public transit, and most people rely on personal vehicles. But the upside is you'll rarely deal with gridlock, and you can live in a quieter suburb without sacrificing too much time in the car. We always recommend mapping out your likely commute or remote work needs before narrowing down your home search. The area that looks best on Zillow might not feel so convenient once you factor in your day-to-day lifestyle.
Now let's talk about cost of living. It's affordable, but is it affordable everywhere? One of the top reasons people move to Kansas City from out of state is affordability, but it's important to understand that it's not evenly affordable across the board. Yes, compared to cities like Denver, Chicago, or Austin, your money goes a lot further here. But where and how you choose to live within the KC Metro can make a big difference in your monthly costs. Let's break it down. In Overland Park, for instance, especially south of 119th Street, homes tend to be newer, larger, and sit in highly rated school districts. You'll often find prices in the $480,000 to $700,000 plus range for a single family home. Now moving over to Prairie Village with its charming older homes and tree-lined streets. It has become one of the trendier and pricier inner ring suburbs. Homes here can easily hit $500,000 and up, even if they're under 2,000 square feet. Over on the Missouri side, Brookside and Waldo offer walkability and character near the city center, but again, expect to pay for the location and lifestyle. Meanwhile, if you're looking for value, places like Raytown, Independence, or Kansas City, Kansas, or KCK as we like to call it, offer homes under $250,000 and sometimes well under $200,000. These areas might need some updates, but they can be smart entry points for buyers who want to build equity over time. And lastly, if you're looking for something in the middle, areas like Shawnee, Olathe, North Kansas City, and Raymore offer plenty of options from affordable to luxury. Property taxes also vary widely. Kansas suburbs like Overland Park and Lenexa tend to have higher property taxes but slightly lower sales taxes. Missouri cities typically have lower property tax rates, but you'll pay state income tax on top of it. And Missouri taxes groceries, while Kansas does not. Another thing people really don't always factor in is utilities and lifestyle expenses. KC homes often have basements, which can drive up heating and cooling costs, but you may also gain a garage, yard, and more square footage, so it balances out depending on your priorities. Plus, parking is free or cheap almost everywhere. No city sticker fees, no paid overnight permits, and no $200 a month parking garages just to own a car. The bottom line, Kansas City is affordable, but you may need to be strategic. Where you land and how you prioritize things like schools, updates, commute, and neighborhood vibe will determine how far your money goes. We can help you weigh in the trade-offs and see what makes the most sense for your goals.
Let's talk about what it's actually like to buy a home in Kansas City right now, especially if you're coming from a different market. The days of every home selling with 15 offers in 24 hours are mostly behind us, but that doesn't mean it's slow. In fact, the best homes in popular price ranges still fly off the market, sometimes within the same day. If you're looking under $400,000 in areas like Overland Park, Lee Summit, or Liberty, you'll still want to move quickly when something great pops up. We've seen several homes go under contract in under 24 hours just this week. That said, we are seeing more balance than we did in 2020 to 2022. Some higher priced homes or properties that need updates might sit on the market for a little bit longer, and in those cases, buyers often have more room to negotiate, whether it's asking for seller paid closing costs, interest rate buydowns, or even a price reduction. The biggest advantage right now is strategy. You don't always have to be the highest offer if you're working with a realtor who knows how to write strong terms. And if you're a first-time buyer, don't assume you need 20% down. We've helped clients get into homes for as little as $500 down using local grants and down payment assistance programs. Compared to larger markets, Kansas City still offers more space, more home features, and more value for the price. Many homes here include basements, garages, and yards, things that can be hard to find in other cities in this price point. So yes, it can be competitive, but it is winnable. And with the right guidance, you can land the right home without overpaying or getting overwhelmed.
Now let's talk about Kansas versus Missouri and what's the difference. This is hands down the most common question we get from out-of-state buyers. Should I live in Kansas or Missouri? And the answer is it depends on what matters most to you. Kansas City is unique because the metro spans 2 states, which means 2 sets of laws, 2 DMV systems, different taxes, school districts, and even city services. Let's break it down so you can see which side might be a better fit. On the Kansas side, especially in cities like Overland Park, Lenexa, and Shawnee, property taxes tend to be higher. However, many people are willing to pay more in taxes in exchange for well-funded schools, newer infrastructure, and highly maintained neighborhoods. On the Missouri side, including areas like Liberty, Blue Springs, and parts of Kansas City, Missouri, you'll often find lower property taxes, but Missouri does have a state income tax on all earnings, while Kansas only taxes certain types of income. Also worth noting, Missouri taxes groceries, while Kansas recently started phasing out the food tax, so that can affect your day-to-day costs in small but noticeable ways. When it comes to DMV and licensing, Kansas and Missouri have completely separate DMV systems. So wherever you buy, that's where your car registration, licensing, and inspections happen. Missouri requires vehicle inspections and emission tests, while Kansas does not in most counties. It's not usually a deal breaker either way, but it's something buyers don't usually consider until they're suddenly making a DMV appointment and wondering why they need an inspection in one state and not the other. Now let's talk about the feel of each state. Missouri offers more of the city vibe. Walkable neighborhoods, historic homes, nightlife, and quick access to things like First Fridays or the Crossroads District. Kansas is known for its suburban convenience, planned communities, newer developments, and larger shopping areas like Town Center or Oak Park Mall. Ultimately, it's not about which side is better, it's about which style works best for you. Want a yard, finished basement, and suburban quiet? Kansas might be your best fit. Want character, centrality, and a quick drive to downtown events? Missouri might be more your vibe. We walk buyers through this all the time. So if you're torn, let's talk through your priorities and we'll help you narrow it down.
Last up, let's talk about culture and lifestyle. One of the best things about moving to Kansas City is that you're not just choosing a house, you're choosing a whole vibe. KC is very much a city of neighborhoods, and each one has its own pace, personality, and sense of pride. First up, Kansas City is known for its Midwestern friendliness. Don't be surprised if your neighbors wave when you drive by or bring you cookies when you move in. People here tend to be down to earth, casual, and community oriented. That said, there's a deep loyalty to neighborhoods and state lines. If someone's from Waldo or Liberty or Overland Park, you will know. People here love their part of town and they'll proudly tell you why it's the best. Next up, Kansas City's food. Let's talk about the obvious. Barbecue is a way of life here. You'll hear strong opinions about Joe's versus Q39 versus Gates, and they're all valid. But beyond barbecue, Kansas City's food scene is way more diverse than people expect. You'll find locally owned taquerias in KCK, high-end farm-to-table spots in Brookside, and incredible Vietnamese food along Independence Avenue. plus creative new concepts popping up all over the metro. There are also great farmers markets, especially in places like Overland Park and the City Market downtown. Kansas City has a vibrant arts and culture scene. From monthly First Fridays in the Crossroads to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗘, KC Fringe Festival, and local music nights at Knuckleheads or Lemonade Park, there's something going on most weekends. And if you love sports like the Chiefs, Royals, or Sporting KC, you're gonna be in good company. The city takes its teams seriously, and tailgating at Arrowhead is basically a religion. So how does your lifestyle differ by area? Where you choose to live really impacts what your daily life looks like. For example, if you're in Overland Park or Lee Summit, your lifestyle might be more suburban. Target runs, kids' sports leagues, backyard barbecues, and neighborhood trails. Or in places like Brookside, Waldo, or the River Market, you'll find walkable blocks, morning coffee shops, and locally owned boutiques within steps of your home. And lastly, if you live farther out in places like Kearney, Grain Valley, or Gardner, you might trade quick access to downtown for wide open spaces, homes on acreage, lower prices, and quiet evenings. The good news is there's no one right way to do Kansas City. It's a choose your own adventure kind of place. Whether you're looking for fast-paced energy, a peaceful cul-de-sac, or a little of both, you'll find it here in Kansas City.
If you're planning a move to Kansas City or just starting to explore the idea, reach out. We'd love to help you figure out which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle best. And when you're ready to visit, we'll even take you out to lunch and show you around.
For more tips about living in Kansas City, neighborhood guides, and home buyer advice, be sure to subscribe. We're Kat and Melanie, and remember, there's no place like home here in Kansas City.